Well, I was gonna wonder how Aaron was gonna pull off that magical act of reporting on Hulk Hogan and avoiding his bar incident. So if you're a older subscriber, I'm gonna keep that very brief. If you're newer, you might be a little like, wait, what is this about? So Aaron, and growing up in Scientology, tries to present itself as a very hardcore activist, altruistic channel, and really, it's not. And this incident really does a lot of damage to his propaganda. So essentially, what happened is a few years ago, Aaron was running for public office in Florida, and this is his story. It's not my story, guys. To collect signatures for himself, he decided to go to a local bar. Now, you might think to yourself, is that really the place to get signatures? Whatever. That's his story. He was just there to get signatures. And Sky Daly, who is now Hulk Hogan's widow. Now, this was not Hulk, right? I want to be stressed. This was another boyfriend. So she was going out with a boyfriend before the Hulk. And her and the boyfriend showed up at the bar, and Aaron decided to have some little fun. Now, as far as I understand, the story is this: that he was talking to someone else, and there was some gap between them, but he was talking very loudly. He was talking so loud the boyfriend heard him, and heard him several times cursing about Sky Daly. So there's really two major things. One is he incredibly got into a fight. He got knocked out, and then called the police and lied to them. So he calls the police, and he claims to be the victim and tells them, saying, "Yeah, I just said uh, she's crazy, but I only did that after they hurt me." Well, that's actually two big lies. No, he was insulting Sky before he got hit. That's why he got hit. He also didn't just call her crazy. He did use some pretty foul language. And he did it repeatedly enough that the boyfriend tried to ask him, please stop doing that. But Aaron, being Aaron, said, no, I'm going to continue doing that. And a fight ensued. So, yeah, it's a pretty embarrassing episode. Obviously, his candidacy failed. And initially, he blamed OSA and the Scientologists and their spy network. I'll give him credit. He didn't bring in the CIA and FBI or Al Qaeda or Putin or whoever, but there you are. So the initial story was OSA had set him up. Sky Daly has seduced him to get into the bar for his signatures. That was the cover story, but now it's pretty obvious he was just going to the bar, trying to pick her up. She was like, no, I don't want to go out with you. In fact, I think you're a stalker. And Aaron can't take no, so he started to harass her and then got knocked out. So that's the Sky Daly Aaron past. So you think to yourself, because Aaron is, pretty stupid, he's going to stay away from this. But no, Aaron did a whole series of reports on Sky Daily and Hulk Hogan and magically didn't share what was happening. He didn't share the truth. So it seemed like he was just doing these hard hitting pieces on the Hulk and his involvement with Scientology. That is true. The Hulk was getting enmeshed in Scientology. We're still not clear exactly what happened. Did he become an official member? Don't know. But he definitely started promoting Scientology much more vigorously. And so Sky probably did convert him to Scientology to some degree. But to what degree, we really don't know. So it was still pretty dangerous for Aaron to bring attention to Sky Daily, right? Because people are not totally stupid. So they were like, wait, is this the woman you had an incident in a bar with? What's going on here? But God bless him. He's continuing to escalate. So now, and again, I have not seen the video yet, so I'm going to give it a chance. He's pushing the rumor that the Hulk may have died or been murdered. And he's probably showing Sky Daily in his thumbnail, so you can put two and two together. Like, oh, Sky killed the Hulk to get the money to give the money to the Scientologists. Right. I mean, again, the Hulk is a very controversial figure. I still like him, but he is embattled. He had many, many issues, racist controversies, issues about betraying friends. His legacy is very mixed. But do I think he honestly is a victim of murder? No, I mean, he was just very, very old and he had many health problems. A lot of wrestlers do, and it's very well known that he was taking certain substances and putting it in his body. So it just seems obvious that just time and these drugs, caught up with him. It's nothing. Nothing too dramatic here, but it's still shocking he died recently. But no, just seems what it is. So what is going on here? Well, I think the real agenda is obvious. So if Sky ever speaks in public and denounces Aaron, well, why should we believe her? You murdered the Hulk. You're a liar. You're stealing from the Scientologists. It must be very clear that, yes, it's all very tricky. Now, do I think Sky is some secret OSA agent who was sent to honeypot Hulk Hogan and entrap him in Scientology? I doubt it. On the other hand, is it a thing that Scientology members are asked and even trained to pull in celebrities to make Scientology bigger and more wealthy? Yes, that is a thing. There are training programs for this. This is real. They are encouraged to get more members, and hey, if the members are celebrities, that's even better. That's even better. So I have no doubt she was given some instructions and encouragement to bring in the Hulk. But do I think there was like this 10-year OSA plan to bring in the Hulk, then murder him, and then steal his money? I mean, I just don't think OSA is that competent, frankly. I mean, these spy agencies are very lethal. They're very dangerous, but they're not omniscient. They're not omnipotent. They make a lot of mistakes. They often leave behind a lot of evidence. So if there is foul play here, maybe. I mean, Scientology is capable of it. Well, despite Aaron, is there something here? Well, it's a little tricky because Hulk's daughter, who was estranged because Hulk basically did this racist rant against, I guess, Brooke's black boyfriend. Yeah, it got a little weird and tricky there. But anyway, so Brooke, apparently being contacted by various professionals, says that the circumstances of his death are very strange. So he did die from a heart attack, right? She's not denying that. So essentially, it does seem he just died naturally. However, the police are still investigating because they think this is a very unique case. What does that mean exactly? I don't know. But they're continuing to investigate if possibly something is not quite right. Now, I'm not sure how Aaron is involved in all this because this would counter his narrative, right? Because why would the Clearwater Police, which is clearly a very corrupt police force, care about a suspicious death if Scientology is involved? It would be the opposite. They have a long history of covering up for Scientology, especially in murder cases. I know this for a fact. So if the Hulk really did die of mysteriously from some very nefarious plot, and it involves Scientology, the police would not be investigating. They'd be doing the opposite. They'd be trying to destroy the investigation. They are continuing the investigation. So it could be two things are true, namely that something mysterious did happen with Hulk, something very strange and odd. However, it doesn't involve Scientology. So I can guesswork Aaron's agenda is to label Sky a murderer and a liar and a grifter, and therefore don't believe her. But we don't have to believe her. We have footage from body cams from the police. We have a police report. We don't need to believe Sky, right? However, I would say at this moment, Sky has more credibility than Aaron on this predator issue. So I can understand what Aaron's trying to do. Aaron the predator is basically trying to confuse people. So saying, "Oh, was there an incident at a bar? Well, put in the raw Sky Daily. Don't trust her. She killed my Hulk. Yeah, guys." Yeah, but there is something odd. The police are still investigating. They have not closed the case, so it's not total clickbait. So something's going on, and I've been working on an homage or tribute to the Hulk. It's a little hard because he's a very controversial figure. So there's a lot more going on than it seems. But at this moment, even the police are not. They're not saying it's foul play. So it's not clear this is a murder case. However, Aaron being Aaron is like, "Oh, Sky and the Scientologist, they killed my Hulk. Oh, I'm crying." Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is.